Good morning, everybody. We're live here from the birdhouse. It is Saturday, January 14th, and today I'm going to give you a little update about the different kinds of birds people are getting, especially in their backyard. So I've got some photos and information to share with you. As always, we love to know what kind of things you have going on in your backyard. You can put those in the comments, or you can throw any questions you might have in there as well. We've got a couple of announcements here at the birdhouse. We have back in stock more of our bisons, our little lawn bisons that have been super popular. We ran out of them for a little bit. We ran out of our blue and red bisons, but we have more of them. We just got some more, so those are in stock. If you're looking for those to put in your yard for the big game tomorrow, we have them for you. Another thing is we have our jigsaw puzzle swap that is scheduled for the last weekend of January. So mark your calendar for that. Not only are we having it the full weekend, but it is apparently National Jigsaw Puzzle Day on Sunday, the last Sunday of January. So to celebrate that all weekend, that last weekend of January, we're going to have our puzzles 10% off. So we'll be having a little sale there as well. And today we have Wild Wings coming to the store. So they'll be here in an hour or so. They'll be here from 11 to 1, and they're bringing everybody's favorite Teddy the Snowy Owl, as well as a barred owl and a saw-whet owl. So we'll have lots of owls here in the store today, and that is from 11 till 1. So definitely stop on by. It's totally free, but we are taking donations for Wild Wings. If you would like to donate, you are more than welcome to, but absolutely not required at all. So I will give you guys a little bit of an update here. I wasn't able to put in all your photos. I just got back into town late last night from a trade show I've been at all week. So Patty and I were there picking out new and exciting things for the store for this spring. So we've got some of that to look forward to. And as we get new and different things in, we'll make sure to show you here on the podcast, as well as when you come into the store. So to get started, for a bit, it's been kind of quiet with the evening grosbeaks. Evening grosbeaks we were talking about kind of earlier in this season is one of these eruptive birds that make appearances here and there. A lot of times in the winter is when they can come down south. Sometimes in the spring, people are getting them at their feeders as well. It's been a little quiet, but people are starting to report them. There's been some reports of the evening grosbeaks out in Webster Park again. So if you weren't able to see them, you might still have a chance. Same with the pine grosbeak. Some more reports of pine grosbeak in that same area over in Webster Park along Park Road here. You can see there's some dots. This is an old map, but it gives you an idea of where they've been seen. So there's still been some activity locally. If you missed them, have some time to catch a glimpse of them this winter. Common redpolls. So common redpolls, it doesn't look like we at least are yet having any kind of eruptions with common redpolls in the area, but there are some scattered reports here and there, a couple here, a couple there, of common redpoll. You're most likely to see them at your Niger feeders. They can feed upside down, just like the goldfinches do. If you have one of those upside down Niger feeders, the redpolls can feed from them quite easily. So keep an eye out for common redpoll. They're sometimes seen on pine trees as well, clinging on to pine cones and grabbing the seeds out of those pine cones. So some reports of common redpoll, some more reports of pine siskin though. So you're more likely to see a pine siskin in your backyard than say a common redpoll. Pine siskins are very stripy. They have a very sharp bill, and they've got some yellowish coloration on the wings there. So they almost look like a female house finch that has more yellow and a much sharper beak. So watch for them either at your Niger feeders or going to sunflower seed or sunflower hearts is where you can find the pine siskin. And there's been some of those reported in that same Webster Park area as well. American tree sparrow, lots of reports of American tree sparrow. So if you see something at your feeders that's a sparrow, but it's a little bit different and it's not one of those white crowned sparrows or white throated sparrows, it could be the American tree sparrow. So we've gotten a lot of customers saying, oh, I've been getting chipping sparrows at my feeders. Probably not. The tree sparrow is going to be the more common and really the only one that we have here in the area in the winter months. The chipping sparrows are further down south, so to have one would be super rare at your feeder. And just to show you the difference, because they do look an awful lot alike, here is your chipping sparrow that will be here in the spring and summer months. They're going to be smaller than the tree sparrow. Not that that's super helpful if you don't see the two of them next to each other, but the chipping sparrow has this chestnut cap on its head. So does the tree sparrow. The tree sparrow, though, will usually have this visible little dot on its breast there. So you can see right in the middle, just like a song sparrow does. A song sparrow is going to have more stripes on it, though. But the tree sparrow will have a little dot there on its breast. And if you look at its eye, so the tree sparrow has a stripe that goes right through its eye, but it's a chestnut color, just like the top of its head. The chipping sparrow has a stripe that goes through its eye, but it's all black. And the other thing that's all black on the chipping sparrow is its bill. So if you look at the chipping sparrow, it's got that all black bill, but the tree sparrow that we have around here now has what's called a bicolored bill. So the top is black and the bottom is yellow. So if you only get a quick glimpse of it, take a look at that bill. That's going to be a definite identifying characteristic that you've got yourself an American tree sparrow, and that chestnut stripe through the eye also really helps. So tree sparrow is what you're likely to be seeing now. Chipping sparrows, you're really not going to have around here this time of the year. They're further south, but look for them sometimes at feeders, usually underneath feeders, or if you've got bushes and shrubs, look underneath them. If you hear something kind of rustling around, could be some tree sparrows. So chipping sparrows, we'll see them few months down the line. We'll be talking more about chipping sparrows. Lots of juncos around as usual. Juncos we get every winter. We'll have them around for a few more months so we can enjoy them for a while. And many reports of red-breasted nuthatches, myself included. I had my first red-breasted nuthatches ever in my yard about a week or so ago, maybe a little bit longer ago, which was super exciting. And this is a picture sent in by Randy, who looks like is on right now, and says, all week I've had many red-breasted nuthatch visits. And he sent in this photo here of a red-breasted nuthatch. It looks like perched on his shepherd's hook. So he's been getting them as well. So red-breasted nuthatches are grouped into this group of, eruptive visitors, where sometimes they come through the area in waves. And it seems like it's been a pretty good year for red-breasted nuthatch. If you want to try to entice more red-breasted nuthatches or nuthatches of any kind to your backyard, you should definitely put out some peanuts. So you can put out the peanut pickouts, the inside of the peanuts. Sunflower hearts they really like, but they'll also eat black oil sunflower seed. And suet. So those are some things you can put out to help entice red-breasted nuthatches. Now, you're probably also familiar with the white-breasted nuthatch, which is usually the more common of the two in the backyard, but you might be getting both of them right now. So there's the red-breasted nuthatch and then the white-breasted nuthatch, with the red-breasted nuthatch being more of the eruptive visitor. And Randy says, that's a beautiful photo. I agree. So those have been, we've been getting lots of reports of them as well as tufted titmouse. They're always kind of one of the more common feeder birds, but it seems like people are getting more of them than they have in years past. So it seems to be a good season for tufted titmouse. And if you want to get more tufted titmouse, peanuts are a great way to do that. They love peanuts. They love sunflower hearts, suet, and of course, black oil sunflower. Can't go wrong with that. Anything that's in your yard that's attracting chickadees will also attract the tufted titmouse. And Carolina wren, people are reporting not only seeing but hearing Carolina wren singing. So they've been singing kind of throughout the winter here and there. But as we get further along in the season and get even closer to spring, they'll get more and more vocal. But Carolina wrens are coming to people's feeders. They're out in the yard singing. They've got kind of a smaller bill, so they can eat black oil sunflower seed in the shell, but they're most likely going to come to sunflower hearts, peanuts. They will come to suet as well. If you've got any of those logs, like the bugs, nuts, and fruit log or the flaming hot feast log, they love those as well. So anything that has, sunflower hearts or peanuts or any kind of insect material in it is going to be great for the Carolina wren. And woodpeckers, the most common one that you'll see is the downy woodpecker, which is here on the right. This is a size comparison of the downy woodpecker and the hairy woodpecker. Steve, that works here at the store, snapped this photo while we had the Cornell Lab of Ornithology feeder cams going. So it was a really good size comparison of the two. You can see the difference between the hairy woodpecker and the downy woodpecker. Hairy woodpeckers seem to be getting more and more common at feeders. They've never been super uncommon, but they're just starting to become more prevalent at feeders. So if you see something that looks like a really large downy woodpecker, it's probably a hairy woodpecker. And just like the downy woodpeckers, you can tell if they're male or female based on the back of their head. If they have a red patch on the back of their head, which it almost looks like this downy woodpecker has here in this photo, it's really hard to tell because it's a little grainy there. It's a photo of a screen on a screen, so it's kind of hard to tell. But if they've got a red patch on the back of their head, that means they're a male. If they don't have that, that's a female that you got. And although this is a picture from the spring, I love this photo that was sent in by Bob of a northern flicker. We've had lots of reports of northern flicker, and that seems to happen almost every winter. Northern flickers aren't really common at suet feeders in the spring, but in the winter when food can be more scarce, especially now that we've got some snow cover, you're probably going to see some northern flicker at your feeders. I've been getting them. I know a lot of you guys have too. They're about the same size as the red-bellied woodpecker, but they're going to have a lot of polka dots on their breast, which you can kind of see in the photo here. And most telling is when they're flying, the undersides of their wings are all yellow. So they've got this really beautiful yellow wash on them. And when they're in flight, they also have a white rump patch. So if you see something kind of flying, like the undulated flight kind of going up and down, and you see a flash of white on their rump, it's going to be a northern flicker. So lots of them have been reported as well in the area. So that is my quick update here after just getting back into town from doing some travel. You can expect a better update and some more photos being shown on Tuesday at 10 a.m. with our next scheduled broadcast. We have Teddy, the snowy owl, will be here today from 11 to 1 from Wild Wings with his friends, the barred owl and the saw-whet owl. So that's a lot of fun. And we've got a ton of seed. We've got heated bird baths if you need any of that kind of stuff right now. We have it for you if you need some of those winter essentials for your birds. Roosting houses, roosting pockets. We still have some of those in stock as well. So if you're looking for anything to make your birds a little bit more cozy this winter, we've got it for you. Karen is on. She says, good morning. Had a brown-headed cowbird this morning. That's something you don't normally see in the wintertime. Good sighting, a brown-headed cowbird. So normally we start to see them in the early spring. They fly in flocks with the red-winged blackbirds. So brown-headed cowbird, pretty cool sighting to have in the winter. Bob is on. He says having many house finches and goldfinches plus bluebirds. So sounds like Bob is having his bluebirds winter over, which isn't always the case. They don't always stay for the winter, but it's been pretty mild. So they've been kind of lucking out just like the rest of us. So it sounds like Bob's been getting them as well. So thank you guys for watching. We'll be back, like I said, on Tuesday at 10 a.m. And yeah, if you need your yard bison, everybody needs one of those. We definitely have them for you. So we'll see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend and Go Bills, as they say. Bye-bye.